Ignore. I don't know how this. Okay, I'll just ignore it. So it's just.
If you put your phone on. Hey, welcome to 42, Two Souls, One Journey, a raw and unedited look into our lives as humans. Based on the 21 grams experiment by Dr. Duncan MacDougall, who concluded that the human soul weighs 21 grams. On this video cast, we will explore that no matter what our lives look like on paper, our souls journey similarly. In this episode, we are speaking to one of Toronto's Bollywood all-time staples. She's paved the way for many South Asian drag performers. She's glam, she's campy, she's crazy, she's creative. She's also one of the hardest working people I know. She believes in kindness over everything, and I trust me, over everything. Kindness is a value that guides her. She values her family, quality time, and this bitch makes the best Dhokla in Toronto. She has recently started her own business, and she's the queen of all things TikTok. Welcome to the podcast, my sister from another mister, Miss Sushmita Patel. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Nervous. I should not be, but hey.
No, it's like we're just hanging out. I mean, we're dressing alike and hanging out. And
Yes, that's right. We are.
yeah,
The bling bling.
I mean, this was a gift from Sushmita from over 5 years ago.
Renu's birthday party.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, this is, I think, like something that's so staple of who you are. You will shower your friends with so much gifts and loving. Like you show love through giving gifts. And, when you commit to doing something, you go 110% in. And I think we've looked like twins for at least the last 4 or 5 like events where they've been glam
Yeah.
events, and you've taken care of all the fashion, jewelry, right down to even the shoes sometimes. You'll just shop at my house with a pair of shoes and be like, here's your outfit. It's just like, and you don't have to do that for me. You just do everybody that you care and love for.
Would do for anyone. I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
That's just. I think so. That's just brings people together. I mean, I would say it's the love. I mean,
Yeah.
I've given to so many people in Toronto. From 2000. Well, I came in 2002,
Okay.
but I met a lot of amazing people. I would say from base from 2004. I know I met you in 2006. You will tell the crazy story how you met me and how I met Reno. And I think so Iqbal was there too.
I think
I
you're
think so.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a long time in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when we met each other, we were just baby. Like it felt like we were just babies. Like, so 2006. So here is the story of how we met each other. Um, 2006, it was my first time going to a more small local Desi party that Junior was putting together. Um, yeah, and
It
it
was
was
at Loop. It was at Loop nightclub.
noob. Is that? Oh my God, people don't
I
even know
think
what that
so.
is. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a smaller nightclub.
Yeah.
And it was my first time in drag. So one of my things at 30 was that I was going to do things that scared me, and drag scared me. And so I remember getting dressed up in a sari. I came with my 3 best friends, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I walked in and then I see this performance of Sri Devi's Hawa Hawaii by Sushmita, who is like starts off as a glam, gorgeous woman who like does these really great moves and then starts throwing fruit at people in the audience. I mean, for me, it was such a like, I was like, oh my God, this glam, wicked, like diva had such a fun, campy, cheeky side to her. And in that moment, I was like, I need to know who this person is. We need to be best friends because I want to journey through this with them. And here we are, 43, 13 years later, still journeying and figuring out. And yeah, that's how I remember. That was my first remembrance of you. Do you
Yeah, I think
remember?
so. I do remember. I mean, I think so. I talked with you guys after the show, and then I said I had to leave. I think so. My brother was coming from States, and I said okay. And then you said no, stay, which I did, and then I went home, change,
Right.
came back, fear me, and he didn't even recognize me. That's how funny I used to be in the days. It's like I'm gonna go home, change, and come back, and
Just to work out, you still do like she's just classically known to wear at least 3 or 4 outfits within a span of an hour at a party. Like,
Yes.
but I think like you need to because you are a fashion designer and that's your form of expression. And it's sort of like that's when you get to show off all your wares. So
Ways. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. So I remember so back to that moment, I remember you left and came back, but then we exchanged numbers and I met you a couple days later at your work, which was Payless on Young
Payless, that's
Street.
right. Yep.
Um, and so and you weren't gonna be in drag. So I was like, oh my God, am I gonna recognize this person? Am I not gonna recognize this person? But I feel like the moment I showed up there, you were sitting outside of Payless, and from your smile and your eyes, I was like, that's her. Like I just knew like the essence of who you were in drag, and then you showed up in non-drag. It felt
Yeah.
like the exact same person to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think so. I told people, I mean, I have changed, obviously, I've changed my look and everything, but from heart, I'm still who I am. I've not changed. And I think so. I've told my family the same thing that yes, I have transitioned, but from heart, I'm still going to be who I am from childhood. That's not going to change, which I have not.
no, and I think
So,
in the 13 years I've known you, you haven't changed. Like nothing about who you are as a person on the inside has changed. Like that essence of who you are has been exactly the same. It's just the visual outside
yeah.
that that has changed, right? I think so. You know, let's talk about your transition journey a little bit. Then, you know, like you went from Hinesh to Sushmita. When did you know? When did you know that you were in the wrong body?
I would say from childhood, but I mean, Fiji was not the place. I was out a lot, coming to States, watching television, stayed there for 3 years, and then moving to Toronto in 2002, um, and working in a restaurant, a small restaurant, and looking, the lifestyle here was so different, fun, and met my best friend, Mark, at the same time. And he's the one who introduced to Church Street.
Of course.
He's the one we started our drag together, maybe 2003, 2004. Uh, and then 2004, 2005, I started getting shows. And then I was always dressed up and loved to be always in a Bollywood art tray or dressed in something which I had designed. But my journey would have started maybe the year I met you. I met another friend at the same time. She was in a transition mode also, and I was looking at her transition, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm always been dressing up, and I think so. Always a girl from inside, I would say, you know. But from childhood, I was always wanted to dress up. I think so a lot of people know in Fiji, I was been that, you know, always glammed up or be a fashion designer or whatever, you know. But 2008 was the turning point. I started my transition. I really started my laser, I would say, in 2008.
Right.
Low by low, didn't have much money, struggling, but it's like, okay, you know what? I want to keep going on no matter what, which I did. December or November, same 2008, I went to my doctor, got the recognition, and he said, "Oh, you're gonna be my first guinea pig." I was like, "How?" He's like, "You're gonna be my first person." I mean, he was just, I think, some internship or something at the clinic, and it's like, "Okay, I'm gonna look into it." And then comes December, he said, "Okay, we're gonna take all your blood tests. Let's see." And then it's a lot to think about too mentally, which I did. Um, but it was a little bit ups and down after taking my pills. You can go suicidal. There's a lot going on at that time. Working at a store with a, you know, a young street is the craziest thing you can ever have. Business people coming to your store, and they have seen me me and then transition. I mean, there'll be always a little bit of judgment for the customers. I never had trouble with any of my work colleagues or my manager. Never had trouble with them.
Right.
I think so. They were just more supportive. Same as my friends were always supportive. Family, I kind of started telling them slowly, you know, um, and they started knowing little by little. Um, and then there was a time like, okay, there was a time in 2011, 2012, I would say. I mean, it's in a transition mode. Um, I started telling my sisters, my brother, my dad. My mom passed away in 2008. She knew a little bit, but not to the extent that I'm going to go this further, which I am now, you know. Uh, my transition started age 32. People say it's a late decision, but nothing is late for anything.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing late for thinking that you want to transition. And now people try to transition when they are like in 40s or 50s, which is it's all about how you feel, which I think so. I think so. I had a great adventure. I think so. It was a really smooth journey for me. I think so. I could tell that I never had trouble with anything, not with friends, not with family, uh, not with workplace. I mean, there will be some harassment or whatever, but I mean, nothing else. But it was the best journey. Met so many people. Uh, Living in Toronto for like 19 years now have helped me who I am now as a person. You know, yes, a little bit ups and downs, which is always the pandemic. We all go through that moment. And I have great friends like you and close friends like Renu, Shazad, and also from Rangila. I think so. People who knows me, at least they can come and support me at this time and the hardship, you know. But life has to go on, and I think so. Which makes me happy is cooking, even for people. I mean, I was cooking already. You know, you have got a lot of food in the days.
I mean, your cooking is
So
legendary, and you're so gracious with it every time. So yeah.
well, I could give to my mom the credit. I think so. She teach me so much.
Yeah.
I think so. She used to do catering back in Fiji. So I used to do from age maybe 5 or 6, you know, sitting down and making papadum with her.
So I feel like we have like in that sentence, there was so much that went on, and let's try to capture them small, like by small pieces, right? So we'll definitely come back to your mom and catering because I think that's a really big part of who you are and where you are. Let's talk about this community that you built during transitioning. I think like one of my memories with you is that like I remember I came out in drag, like I came out in what I thought was drag, and really at that point I shaved my face, put some base makeup on and lipstick and eyeliner, and I was like, oh my god, I'm doing drag. And I remember I went to my first beach from in drag with you, and we didn't go straight to beach from. I met you, and then we went to one of the girls' houses. I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the brown transitioning girls as well, and we ended up in this community in this apartment. So it was me, you, and 3 other girls, and you know, and the girls were like, "Oh, wait a second, you need mascara, you need this." Like they fully, like, and I really remember just coming in. Maybe like I must have been like I don't even know. I think I was like a boosty and a pair of boys' jeans, and a pair of heels and whatever. I thought makeup was makeup, and I remember leaving that apartment in a fully different face and being like, oh, like here are some of the things that like we didn't have YouTube back then. So
Yes.
our learning came from each other, right? And you have such a great ability to build community and keep community. Like again, those girls were fantastic because I think they like you learned all these things from them, and I through that learned a lot from them. And then you sort of have your drag family community. Like I wouldn't say not your drag family, but like your close family community, which is like Mark, AJ, and that.
Right.
And then you
Yeah.
have all your drag sisters who like Um, oh my God, I'm forgetting their names right now, but they still show up at your parties. And then you have your Bollywood community. Like you have so many great little pockets of community that you build and keep you keep in touch with them and you keep on top of that. How, like, where does that come from for you? Like, would you like, what is important for you in building community?
The most important is the love they have given me and the love I have given them.
Yes.
And I think so. I have a lot of people to name who were always close to me. I mean, still we meet on the street even after the pandemic. I've met a couple of the people. Um, I've met Fahrenheit, Nicolette Brown. I do talk to her
That's
once in a
Nicolette
while.
Brown.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so. She was the staple of my performance at Cruise and Tango. I think so it was Sass. I think so in the days. I met Safanda. I think so she was part of the same group.
Yeah.
Freights, I would say at Cruise and Tango. I think so. That was my most staple place to go and just perform. Even just for like one song, I just begged like let me go on the stage, let me just do one number. I didn't care about the money part at that time. That was not for me. I mean, that came slowly, maybe after a few years, you know. But Cruise and Tango was the place, and Play, which was just beside. It was
Right.
a Latino club, and I have met so many people there. To be named Mama G, Diet Pepsi. Maybe a lot of people even don't know all these people. Maria Del Monte, she was the loveliest person. She called me Chismis or Chismis, the way she tells, you know, she's an amazing person. I think so. I performed there many times. With Mark, we did dolly shows,
Yes.
crazy days.
Oh God. Yes.
The
Yes.
drama queen who steals all my clothes and say, hey, it's gonna come back, and it never did.
No, and they always smelled weird after she wore them too, just so we're clear.
I will never take it back.
Yeah, yeah. I hope she,
It's like olives.
yeah, yeah. When she hears this, Mark, just so you know, Dolly Jones, they smell.
It does. But I think so. This is how I build relationship with no ego to be that top level, which I never wanted to be. But hey, gradually things change, evolve. Um, did some patient shows, did Mela, did some charity shows, uh, did Booby Ball with you.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, still remember that night.
Well, we won't go into the details of that night, but it was a big party for a cancer charity, and we were invited to perform, and she made costumes for that. And let's just say it was an MTV party, which was
Yeah.
fantastic.
And
We
it
had,
also Cancer Society. I think so.
yeah, it was Think Pink, I
First,
think, some sort of,
yeah.
yeah, Think Pink, and it was some sort of cancer charity. Yeah.
I made what? I made like 50 clothes in 2 or 3 weeks, 20 West. It was all for charity. Um, I think so. It was challenging because I never did so much costume in 2 or 3 weeks period, I would say. And I used to wake up 3 in the morning before going to work, and each West takes me 3 hours to make. And I was like, no, I need to make three each day to be completed, you know, before this show, which I did. And I think so it was a guess, great success. I'm not sure how much you guys made. I think so 40,000 for the charity. That's what I recall. I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember what we made for the charity. I just remember all the
Yep.
work that went into like in putting on the show together because it was a big main stage. There was three of us, then we had backup
Yeah.
dancers, and everybody had to have costuming. And like, you know, that is I think the like when I say hardworking, you are like if you know you have a deadline, you will prioritize things in your life to make sure
Yeah.
you finish all these things and still go to work full time, cook, travel, and then still like once you make a commitment to something, you go 110% in. And I
I
think
do.
that's yeah, and I think that's what's like really amazing about you. And also I feel like back in the early 2000s, you were the only Desi queen on Church Street. There wasn't any other queens out there. Like I think you broke mainstream at that point in Toronto for us.
So
Like,
they wear some, but they were not like too much out than me going maybe every day.
yeah.
You know,
But they weren't performing like you did. Like you were at the big bars with the big, like with the Safondas, with the like you were there with the big girls with the main girls doing performances. A lot of the girls, like, they weren't any of the girls there, like not
you know,
performing the way you did. Yeah, I mean, you really paved the way at that point. Like you put like, now when people listen to Desi songs, when queens now perform them, the mainstream audience knows what they are because you already performed them before. Like you did all the neighborhood the
yes,
classics.
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember Jada Hudson. She did Dora Dora. I mean, Maze. You know, yeah, she got some clothes for me, and it's like, oh, just dress up, and she did amazing. I was like, I think so. She pulled My Days of Dora Dora to her version. I think so. She was perfect. You
yeah.
know, she was amazing on this stage, and so happy just to see someone else doing what I used to do. You
Well,
know,
how many people do you think you put into Bollywood drag or Bollywood dress up? So drag or non-drag? I feel like I can think of all our friends. If anybody came up to you and said, Smith, I want to come to a Bollywood party, you would outfit them head to toe and dress
most
them
of
up and
them
bring them.
I have done to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like you still do that to me. You still call me and said, wear this necklace.
Well, it was more clothing versus makeup. Makeup, it was just up to them, but clothing, uh, even my closet, my two big closet might have maybe 200 outfits or 300 outfits right now, just there. So, and jewelry, I might have maybe 100 um, pairings and sets, which, you know, that's from because I always pick something which gonna be lasting me many years. I was not just buying the sake of, oh, I want to do shows. I always think before buying, I'm not just gonna, okay, I love it, I'm gonna buy it. You know,
when you shop, you're like, oh, if I buy it, I can give it to my sister, I can give it to my niece. So like you think of like 100 people in between you and where we'll end up that can use
yep,
it. You're a very good conscious shopper that way. You don't just buy
yep.
for the moment. You're like, oh, here's 14 of the like here's 4 of the people that can use the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have given clothes to Christina, jewelries. Obviously, people have come. Shazad. Who else? I mean, a lot of people have bought it. I mean, it's been so many years. It's like I kind of forget who I haven't been given. Right? Malika Queen, I have done, not
Yeah.
you.
No, the other Malika. Malika John is here. Malika Queen is the other person.
That's right. So yeah, I have helped them out in any way. I mean, as long as it comes back, because I have spent money and time making it. Most of my costume, which normally I did for stage shows, it has to look different. So I've stitched most of my stage show outfits. Uh, Jewelry, I've been buying different places, but for almost 10 years, I've been only buying from Kalakender, from Little India. They're always helpful. Harleen, I would say, very helpful looking for jewelry. So she'll send pictures. Oh, Sushmita, we got this new jewelry or jhumkas. So at least I get a picture of if I need for something, or all my fabrics are from there. Most of my fabrics, kaftans I used to make, which I have stopped stitching kind of because there's no place to go. Right. So kaftans, any kaftans I've been wearing. I think so most of my stuff are more kaftan because I never like any Canadian outfits because they were too short. And I'm self-conscious about my body at the same time. So, you know, I said, oh, I need something long. And it worked out. I can wait. I was working as a manager. I'll put a blazer if any people coming from, you know, head office just to look professional.
Yeah.
So, you know, I created my own fashion. It's okay, this is what I'm going to wear. And I don't think so. I have bought maybe for almost any Western clothes. I have not bought for almost like 10 years. I make all my Western clothes. And even the one I'm wearing,
Right. Yeah.
I don't really buy anymore, which I used to because I wear it once and I don't like it. I don't know why.
Well, I mean,
Right.
you've got such a like you're a fashion designer at heart. Like I think like from the moment I met you, you know how to grab a fabric, you know how to make it couture almost. You know how to make it fit a person perfectly.
Yeah.
And also you know
Without no zippers, no hooks, no
yeah,
eyes.
which for people out there, it's magical. And the only person that can dress you and undress you is Sushmita. So to but to like have her vision come true perfectly, she has to be the person there. But I think that's also like I think Alexander McQueen did that. I think all couturiers have a very specific look and feel, and sometimes only they can dress you properly in the outfit. So it speaks to who you are, and also you have a way of you embellish things. Like I remember when we first started, like when we first met, you would go to Aldo and get different pieces of like earrings and necklaces, and then make something else out of it. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, here I made this. It's got 3 earrings, 4 necklaces, 5 bangles, and all of a sudden it's this like magic piece of jewelry. Like you know how to mix and grab things together and envision
Yeah.
them in a very different way. Where like you said this started for you when you were younger in Fiji. Um, do you? Oh my God! Not like you also. I think I wore one of your very first designs in my performance at Bayshram.
Ashram. Yeah.
When I did like a tribute to Madhuri
You
Dixit.
did Madhuri, you did Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a red Gagra choli with seashells and
Still have it. That's
or-
from my in 1995, my Whala fashion show. Uh, my mom was against it. She said, "You're not doing it." And two of my one of my bhabhi and her sister was Nana. She's a designer and she's well known in Fiji now because Prime Minister from New Zealand, she when she came to Fiji, she wore one of her jacket, amazing quilted jacket. I still watch it have, you know. So making that outfit was a no-no because we didn't have much money, and I was begging my mom, "Let me do it one," and my mom, "No, no, no." And then my bhabhi and Nana, they both came and asked my mom, "Let him at that time do it," and she goes, "Okay." And I was so I had this thing, a vision of making something with um, she sells making with Rudrash, beating the whole entire outfit with little corals. And I still have that outfit. It's been so many years, and
well,
coming first time on the television, coming first time on the newspaper, and won my first award.
oh,
It was just happening, and my mom was so proud. And I was not good at studies, but something in practical and putting 100% to what I want to do,
yeah.
which I still have that passion to do even now. If I want to do it, I'll do it. Right? If I want to cook, like which I did today, if I want to wake up in the morning and I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna do it. You just have to put it there, and when you wake up, you turn it on, and it starts,
You're
which
not
I
one.
did. Yeah.
You're not one person who like I feel like I'm like oh I'll do it, and then maybe I'll go out one night and be like oh I don't want to do it today. Like I change my mind very quickly. But when you say you're going to do something, it doesn't matter if we've been out all night drinking. You will get up the next morning and finish what you said you were going to do. Most of us would be like, "Oh, I went drinking last night. I got a headache. I'm not going to do anything." You don't do that at all. Like this
I
speaks to
drink so much in the days. But I think so
we
those
all
were the
did.
younger age. Those were the younger days. Now
Right,
it's no. We're gonna even go clubbing. Everything is shut down. You
right,
know.
right. But yeah, my body can't handle like what we did back then. I can't even reimagine it at this point. I think I would die. Like I know I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
But like again, your work ethic is like it's so on point. Like you are
Yeah.
so committed to doing, and you're also doing the best of what you're going to do. When did that happen for you? Do you remember a point in your life when, um, you were, oh, did somebody model that for you? Did you see that in any of your family members?
Uh, well, I would say my mom, yes. I think so. All my brothers and sisters, they all got through my to my mom and my dad also. They both hardworking people from Fiji and coming here, coming to States. They were always hardworking people, no matter what.
Yeah.
And learning from my mom that hey, if you gonna promise to do something, you're gonna do it. You're not gonna back up. And which always, and be kind to people. And I think so those are the things she has always taught us from childhood. Obviously, I was the first one. If I did something wrong, I get everything a ruler. I was the chickiest kid then too, and I'm still chicky. I'm not gonna
I
say I'm
believe
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, still a chicky person when I am. A lot of people know me that oh, Sushmita is just Sushmita. Very nice. You have to know me just
Yeah.
like other people know me. They really need to know me from who I am. Yes, it's all about the first impression. If you connect, you connect. If you don't connect, hey, there's another chance, which has happened to a lot of people. I'll give you an example of um, working at Payless, and one of the person walks in. It's like, oh, you work here? It's like, yeah, I have a job also, because a lot of people didn't know that I used to work.
Right.
Also, they think you're just a glam queen, and that's what it is. No, life has to be both sides. You have your glam life versus non-glam, and I think so you cherish in two different ways, which I've been doing it um, for many years. But the most motivation was given by my mom um, until she passed away. Also, she was always there, even the day. Sorry, she she passed away. She called me because I was sick, and we talked last time was 8:30, and then I got a call at 4:30 next morning that she passed away. It's a shocking moment. But uh, but I think so. It took me 2 years to overcome that she has gone. But I think so now. Now I cherish the fun part or good times versus sad part that she's not there. But I always think that she's around me. Every time I'm cooking, I still have a bellend. The bellend we make popular.
Yeah.
So she gave me.
Your video just went out. Shush.
Sorry, it's just a phone. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, still have the bellend, and um, and that always remind me, hey, I'm still here with you.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
What is Auntie's name? I feel like I only know her as Sushmita's mom, but what was Auntie's name?
River Ben.
Riva?
Reva. Rewa. Yeah.
Oh, Riva Ben.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about her, there's so much of who you are that comes out, and like she influenced your life in so many ways. I know, like over the years when you talk about her, you talk about all these great characteristics about her and all the learnings, but you represent that in so many ways. Like I think when you talk about your mom, I see her in you. I didn't get a chance to meet her, but from the way you describe everything about her is showcased in you. And I last year lost my grandmother, who was a big maternal part of my family, and they're physically gone, but they're spiritually here. Like I
Yeah,
100%
that's
believe
right.
it.
Yeah.
And they're guiding us to go in the direction they always wanted us to go, right? So, all the great things you said about your mom, I see like they're 100% reflected in everything that you do as a human being. And I know how close the two of you were.
Yes, very close.
Yeah. So
You know,
I think she would be very proud of who you are as a person.
yes, I think so. She has nothing against any kid in life or families. She was just like me, giving 110%, no matter what, any day, even she's sick or what.
Yeah, it sounds like 100% like you.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we've got 6 minutes left, so let's talk about let's talk about your new catering business. I feel like that's such an inspiration. Like it's something your mom did, It's
Yep.
something, it's an adventure you're jumping into. It's almost like you're carrying the legacy of your mom. Um, like, let's tell the world about your business. Like, how did you decide to start your catering business?
Well, when the pandemic hit, I had a job at that time, and I mean, I was just thinking. A lot of friends was like, "You should do start catering." I was not ready for it mentally, like I mean, I was still cooking for people,
Yeah.
but I was not ready. And then the first one hit, and then it got shut down, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start. I did, I think so, January or February. I started posting, not getting much orders, but I would say February I started getting orders.
Right.
And then in 3 weeks into that, I lost my job. It was a little bit kind of difficult. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And then this thing just started slowly, and I already have a couple of repeat customers, which is a good thing,
Yeah.
you know. And the thing is, good reviews so far. But I think so. It just like put me as myself. They're like, okay, I'm gonna cook every morning. I have a catering order for this Sunday. It's like, oh, I have to make this person so much things.
Yeah.
So I have to be at least ready for Sunday delivery. So I'm doing delivery slash cooking slash buying products. Obviously, everything involves in there, which is food cost, pricing, which learned from my mom. uh, she used to do back in Fiji, and how much spice to put. Uh, I don't have measurement just like her. We just don't have spoon. We just go like this. Even salt, even putting in that chura I made today, I just go like
Right.
this. I know how much I'm putting it. I didn't use cups to measure. I
Okay.
don't. Unless people ask me for the recipe. I don't have recipes. But it's how much love you put in the
Yeah.
food. That's what matters. And working at my first job
Right.
at
Catering.
Marche, it was a catering.
Yes.
I started picking up plates, and then eventually I started going to extend. Okay, I'm going to be a host. I'm going to be cash, and then get chance to work in a catering, and got promoted at the same time. So learning a lot from there, taking, and one of the chef from Australia, he told me the most important about food is love, salt, and pepper.
Love, salt, and pepper.
Yeah,
Okay. It sounds so
right.
simple. Yeah, yeah. But it's
It's so
not.
simple.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. It's about how much the effort also. But if those things are good, mwah, you're
Right.
done. People are gonna come to you.
I mean, I feel like we should let people know that, like, sorry, let people know that, like, you used to cook amazing meals for all of us, anyways, like, but for free, which I appreciated. Let me tell you that. But like, we would have a
Yeah.
party, and Sushmita would come with like 4 different dishes, or she would throw the Diwali party at her house and have 9 different dishes. Like you are, like, you're an amazing cookie. Like, your food is part of your passion. I think like being creative and creating stuff is your passion,
Yeah.
and it's shown in food. You're an amazing. Your customer service is amazing. Like, you know how to treat people with love, and you're very honest with people about things, and you come from a place of kindness. And I think it's also showcased in your food. Like, I have sat at Diwali parties at your house where
Yeah.
full of people, and everyone has left with like a happy belly, a smile on their face. Um, and this is who you are. Like, I think like you catering makes so much sense. Like, the world needs to experience your food. The world needs to pay for your food as well. Like, like it's good quality stuff. You don't chit
Yeah.
chat on stuff. You make amazing dishes, and also you make classic like Gujarati dishes with a spin. Like, you make like zucchini dhokla. Was it eggplant dhokla? No.
No, cilantro.
Yeah.
That's a hit right now. Getting a lot of orders for that.
Yeah.
It's just, I told you I create stuff and I give people to try. So you might have got it. So I had to, I think so. One of my friends, whoever liked the plain dhokla, they changed to can I have cilantro dhokla, Sushmita? I was like, okay, good to know. So I'm getting a lot of orders for cilantro somehow, which is delicious.
Good.
You know, yeah, people love it. So I'm getting a lot of orders, and doesn't take much time for me. Less than an hour, it's done.
True, but
So-
like the preparation takes time. You have to get like it may take an hour just to finish it, but there's all the prep. Like you are so good at being organized that it
Yeah.
looks like you make it look like it's not a lot of work. But for those of us who
Yeah.
don't cook and see how much effort you put into it,
Yeah,
it's
the
a lot of
effort is it's a lot of work.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But I mean, once you're in the kitchen, you don't think about anything. Even my phone is off. I'm like that. I put my phone away. It's like I don't want to be disturbed. And once I'm there, I'm there. You know.
That's
So-
you. I would have my
Yeah.
phone on and wait to be disturbed. So I think it speaks again to when you're dedicated to doing something, you do it 1,000,000%. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm super excited that you have a catering business now, that people in the world can taste your food, can taste how good stuff. So we will make sure to put a link to her Facebook page or Instagram page where she talks about the dishes that she creates.
Yeah.
And I think people who listen to this, you should go taste some Gujarati food with a twist on it. Yeah.
Not yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
exciting.
doesn't
It's
I
exciting
can
being
still
here.
make Western food also, but I mean, mostly it's Gujarati. But yeah, I do pasta, I do salads, I do sandwiches. So, you know, the list goes on, but I focus more on Gujarati food right now. So things will change slowly, eventually.
I mean, as your business grows, like you're in such a great, like again, I feel like I remember this little boy from 2006, and now you're grown to this fully developed woman who is, you've shaped your own future. You have decided what you want to do, how you're going to do it. And when you do it, you literally do it a lot of it by yourself. Like you are in
Yeah.
a city with, I mean, we have chosen family members, but you also don't have your close, like you don't have your close family members, but you've made
No.
such great friends and family. Like you made your friends your family, and you work hard at like what everything that you have now. You worked so hard to get it and keep it and cherish it. I was so lucky to sort of see that journey with you. So to see this extra journey of your catering business is even more exciting.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. You know, I think so. This has built a little bit of, I would say, it can be my future. Who knows? You know, I just had to try, and and the thing is, you don't try, you don't know. You won't lose it.
Yeah.
You know, you can stop if you want to, but if people start liking it, you can keep going on.
Right.
And which I always think, like, you know what, there's always going to be up and down, but you need to keep going in life.
Yeah, I love that
Right.
about that attitude of
Yeah.
yours is so fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so we are done. We're in our last minute now.
Okay.
To wrap up this moment, we're going to play a rapid round fire where I'm going to I'm going to say one word at you, and you're going to respond with the first word that comes into your head. Ready? Diva,
Sushmita.
Bollywood,
Bollywood, Sridevi.
Sridevi was the next one. So Sridevi,
Yeah,
dance,
Sridevi.
Dolly Jones,
Crazy. And best friend.
love,
Giving.
family,
Loving and cherish every moment, you know. Yeah,
food.
delicious.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to tune in as Sushmita and I got to catch up and chat about her. I hope you guys learned about her. I hope you guys go support her business. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of my life, because you have brought so much love and light into it. And I am so blessed to have you in my life. And I look forward to more years of this. So
Yes, for
I love
sure.
you.
I love you too. And thanks for having me, and love you.
I love you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care. Bye.